From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
The growing number of faster, cheaper COVID-19 tests is offering hope. Now at 4:30, the push to fight the spread of the coronavirus as we wait for a vaccine. President Trump back in the White House this morning, the latest on his health and what's next for the campaign trail. Your Indianapolis Colts are teaming up with Gleaners Food Bank to feed Hoosiers in need, working for you, how you can get help. But first, here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Alyssa Donovan in for Todd Clausen this Tuesday. Alyssa, I checked the temperatures right before I left today to see if I needed the winter coat after yesterday. It was a little bit warmer this morning.
Yeah, we've jumped about 10 degrees from this time yesterday morning, so it's still a little bit brisk outside when you walk out, but not nearly as chilly as it was yesterday. Right now, 45 in Indianapolis, and you can see that cooler air has moved off to the southeast, so we do still have a 30 on the map here. Richmond at 39 degrees this morning, so just a little bit brisk, but most of us are going to warm up very quickly today. We're going to be back to average with those temperatures. What's going on is high pressure is still in control across the area. We have this disturbance just to the north. Very likely we're not going to see any impact from that. That's going to stay to the north. As we head through the day, something you are going to notice is that along with that sunshine and those warmer temperatures, we are going to see some gusty winds out there, and that's just as we see that southwesterly flow moving into place. So not as chilly to start, mostly sunny throughout the day, 73 degrees for the high.
Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. This is I-65 and County Line Road here as you're traveling to and from Johnson County, the south side. You shouldn't have any problems at this spot. However, just a reminder, we do have some major construction happening just a little bit north of this spot on Southport Road. The on-ramp to northbound I-65 at Southport Road remains closed through December for a construction project, so you'll need to avoid that area. You can also get on the interstate here at County Line Road as a detour. Well, let's begin this morning with a look at the impact of the coronavirus on our Hoosier lives. State health officials reporting 835 new cases of COVID-19. That's the lowest number since last Wednesday. As you can see, the previous 5 days, around 1,000 more new cases are being reported. Though there is a slight dip in the numbers, we want to put all of this into context as to what this means. Indiana had our first wave of COVID-19 from mid-March through early June. Daily reported cases declined as low as into the 200s at one point when they dropped in June. Now in July, the daily cases began to surge again, and they've stayed high for months now with the daily case averages in the 800s and 900s. Our moving average as of this morning is now 1,100 cases. The state also reported 7 new deaths for Hoosiers related to COVID-19. To date, 3,454 people in Indiana have died with that virus. At 4:33, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is updating its guidance about how the coronavirus spreads. The change involves whether the virus can linger in the air after an infected person leaves an area. According to the CDC, prolonged close contact is the worst culprit for this kind of spread, especially if people aren't wearing masks and are closer than 6 feet apart. The agency says that some reports indicate transmission through the air can happen in enclosed, poorly ventilated spaces, but it is rare. Activities that require heavy breathing, like exercising or singing, can increase the likelihood of this type of spread. Meanwhile, researchers are hoping to slow the spread of the virus through increased, faster, and cheaper testing. Scientists at Harvard and Brown say we need about 2 million tests a day for symptomatic people and contacts. When you add in testing for teachers, students, nursing home residents, and staff, that number is about 4.4 million. That's around 4 times the amount of people being tested per day right now, according to the COVID tracking project.
So I think it's important to make sure that we actually have a goalpost about where the country needs to head, because the testing manufacturers need to know what that number looks like in order to make their own business and manufacturing decisions about how to scale.
Well, doctors say letting the supply chain drive our guidelines for testing won't get us to where we need to be. They suggest the federal government needs to make testing cheaper or even free to help slow the spread of the virus. They also say testing is just one component. They encourage everyone to wear masks and social distance. A reminder, though, anyone who lives or works here in Indiana, you can get a free COVID test. You can register by going to lhi.care/COVID testing, or you can call 888-634-1116. We have all this information on our website. Just go to WRTV.com. So this morning, President Trump is back at the White House. He was discharged by doctors at Walter Reed Medical Center after nearly 3 days there at the hospital. He received treatments typically reserved for the more serious COVID diagnosis, including steroids and an antibody treatment. The president still believed to be positive for COVID-19, but his physician says that he supports Trump's release from the hospital while acknowledging there may be some risks. Shortly after President Trump arrived back at the White House and removed his mask, his opponent Joe Biden told an NBC town hall that the president still doesn't get the bigger picture.
Now, what is this macho thing? I'm not going to wear a mask. What's the deal here? Be patriotic, for God's sake. Look, anybody who contracts the virus by essentially saying masks don't matter, social distancing doesn't matter, I think is responsible for what happens to them.
President Trump will continue to receive around-the-clock medical care. That's according to the White House. Physical access to the president will also be significantly limited to those near him, and they'll have to wear appropriate personal protective equipment. So where do things stand when it comes to the president's COVID diagnosis and the outbreak linked to the Rose Garden ceremony to introduce his Supreme Court nominee? Here's what's changed so far. The only debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris that's still scheduled for tomorrow. It's out in Salt Lake City. Vice President Pence attended the Rose Garden ceremony, but reportedly continues to test negative for the virus. On Monday, organizers announced a plexiglass divider will separate the candidates, who will also stand 12 feet apart while on the stage. Meanwhile, the remaining presidential debates, they're still up in the air. The Presidential Debate Commission member says one possibility would be to hold virtual debates between Trump and Biden. Despite 2 members of the Senate Judiciary Committee testing positive for COVID-19, Supreme Court confirmation hearings will move forward as planned. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell moved to postpone in-person votes by 2 weeks, but did not recommend any changes to the hearing schedule for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. The process is set to start next week. Democrats are calling for hearings to be pushed back to protect the health and safety of lawmakers and staffers. Now, back here at home today, we'll learn where some of the Indiana candidates stand on the issues at an event organized by new immigrants and diverse faith leaders. ACT Indiana, an organization founded by Faith in Indiana, is hosting an online forum. They'll focus on 3 main issues: healthcare, COVID relief, and pathways to citizenship. The community is encouraged to participate.
We have to understand that immigrants are a part of every Hoosier aspect of life. Immigrants are essential workers. Immigrants are the people that are taking care of our roads. Immigrants are the people taking care of our homes and everything that we can think about. And I think they deserve a voice because we are not, a border state, they're often forgotten and they are put on the back burner and they really don't have anyone. But I think it's very important for them to have a representation and to have a voice because they are truly a part of our Hoosier community.
5th District candidate Christina Hale and State Senate candidate Dr. Fatty Kadora will participate along with other guests. Their opponents Victoria Spartz and John Ruckelshaus declined their invitations. The virtual candidate forum called We Make the Future starts at 7 o'clock this evening. You can register at actindiana.org/OCT6rally. For everything you need to know about the candidates on your ballot, early voting, and more, just go to the Vote in 2020 digital section of our website, WRTV.com. The time right now is 4:38. Your Indianapolis Colts and Gleaners Food Bank are working together to make sure that no Hoosier goes hungry. Monday, the 2 organizations came together to host a mobile food pantry. Players helped to load the cars with enough food to feed a family for about a week. Sarah Estelle with Gleaners says with the ongoing pandemic, many people are facing new struggles.
We have a lot of families during the pandemic that are in this position for the first time. We've estimated about 40% of them have never needed food assistance before. And so that can be a frightening situation to find yourself in, don't know how to navigate the system, reluctant to ask for help. So hopefully we can make it a little bit fun with being able to see the players and be out here, but really the purpose is just to feed people.
Well, the Colts will host a mobile food pantry at Lucas Oil Stadium every Monday through the rest of the month. Ball State is cutting more than 30 positions. Just after the break, what led to this move and how it could affect your student. And a federal judge who lost her son in a home invasion speaking out for the first time. Her message to the gunman and how she plans to honor her son's memory. Alyssa.
And it's not as chilly as it was yesterday to start our Tuesday. Temperatures starting in the 40s across central Indiana will climb quickly today with gusty winds. Highs will be into the 70s.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:43. Workers who fear their industry is being forgotten as the pandemic continues are calling on Congress for help.
We are the invisible workforce because we are behind the scenes.
The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees organized a rally in downtown Indianapolis on Monday. The group represents stagehands, wardrobe workers, sound technicians, and more. They pushed empty equipment carts, symbolizing the lack of concerts, performances, conventions, and similar events that have put them out of work.
Over 83,000 people in this community rely on tourism for a paycheck. And at this point in time, more than half of those are unemployed.
We would love to go back. We want to go back. We don't want the unemployment. We don't want the FEMA. We want to go back.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogg said it is also calling on Congress to act. Last week, he announced details of a hospitality industry grant to help business owners pay rent or mortgages. However, it does not provide direct relief for the workers. This morning, leaders at Ball State University have cut more than 30 positions as a result of the ongoing pandemic. According to a statement released by the university, the school received a $10 million reduction in state appropriations. That led to the elimination of 38 filled positions, or about 1% of the employee base. The university also said the temporary financial challenges that it's facing will not affect student tuition this upcoming school year. Ball State maintains its place as having the second lowest tuition rate increase among public universities in Indiana. Here at WRTV, we want to make sure that you know what jobs are available to you, especially in the middle of this pandemic. Through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, you can find a list of open positions and open other resources needed to get you into the job you want by going to hiringhoosiers.com and also the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. There is some good news, though, this morning for those who are still waiting on stimulus checks from the IRS. The agency has extended the deadline to register and get your money. Millions of eligible people haven't yet received the $1,200 payment from the CARES Act. That's because the IRS relies mostly on tax returns to process the payments, but you don't have to have filed one to become eligible. Some of the people in greatest need don't make enough money to file returns. The IRS created a special portal on its website for those people to register to receive their stimulus payment. That's been up since the spring, and now the agency is extending the October 15th registration deadline to November 21st. You can find a link for the non-filers tool on the irs.gov website. Also in Washington, 2 conservative Supreme Court justices are criticizing the ruling that cleared the path to legalize same-sex marriage. Across the U.S., an opinion by Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, the justices say the 2015 decision, quote, enables courts and governments to brand religious adherents to who believe that marriage is between one man and one woman as bigots, making their religious liberty concerns that much easier to dismiss, end quote. That opinion was prompted by the court refusing to hear the Kim Davis case. She is the former county clerk in Kentucky who was jailed for refusing to issue any marriage license in protest of same-sex marriage. At 4:46, a Texas police officer has been arrested for the murder of a 31-year-old man. This incident happened on Saturday. Wolf City police officer Sean Lucas was responding to a disturbance call. When he arrived, he made contact with a man identified as Jonathan Price. According to a statement from the Texas Department of Public Safety, Lucas tried to detain Price, but Price resisted and began walking away. That's when Lucas first tased and then shot Price multiple times. Price died at the hospital. Witnesses say that Price was trying to break up a fight before Lucas arrived. Friends and family remember Price as a pillar of that community.
It breaks my heart that the tragedy that, happened here, and to a wonderful person that was just trying to, help somebody else out. It should have never happened.
He always had a great smile. He was always happy.
Yes.
Always happy, and then I go on the track every now and then. I used to see him. He'd be training somebody, because he was a fitness coach as well.
Authorities say results from the preliminary investigation found that Lucas's actions were not, quote, objectionably reasonable. His bond is set at $1 million. The Texas Rangers, the Wolf City Police Department, and the Hunt County District Attorney's Office are investigating that shooting. At 4:47, it's been nearly 3 months since U.S. District Judge Esther Salas endured the unimaginable. A gunman coming to her family home, posing as a delivery driver, and then shooting and killing her only son, Daniel, and critically injuring her husband. The investigators say that the former Manhattan lawyer, Roy Den Hollander, carried out the attack before killing himself. He was a self-proclaimed anti-feminist who first encountered Salas back in 2015. Salas never ruled against Den Hollander, but he repeatedly complained about her in online ramblings. This morning, Judge Salas is speaking for the very first time about the loss and resiliency.
I can't let him take anything else. I love my job. I'm proud to be a United States District Judge. I can't let him take that from me. And I know that I'm going to be an even better judge. I know that I'm going to strive every morning to be the best person that I can be. My son gave his life for his father and I.
Well, you can see Judge Salas's entire interview with Robin Roberts. It's coming up this morning on Good Morning America. In Colorado, some incredible video capturing thousands of feet above the ground shows this harrowing lengths that rescuers go to get people to safety. Here, an injured climber was stranded atop the Crestone Needle Rock Formation at nearly 14,000 feet. So a joint operation between the Colorado Hoist Rescue Team and the Colorado National Guard was launched, sending a crew into the air. The team then lowered a rescuer onto a tiny path to reach this trapped climber. The pair were then hoisted to safety in death-defying fashion, all while making casual chit-chat. Wow, pretty incredible views right there. Thankful, Alyssa, that there are people not as afraid of heights as I am.
Yeah,
who can rescue these people.
That's pretty incredible video.
Yeah.
We're going to have a pretty nice week on tap. We're going to start warming up today. We were really chilly to start yesterday. It's not as chilly this morning, but still a brisk start. And we're also going to see some gusty winds over the next couple days here. Clear nights and sunny days are going to be the trend, and that's because we have high pressure in control right now. So it's 45 degrees right now in Indianapolis. Feels a little chillier than that. We have those southwesterly winds moving into the area right around 5 miles per hour. Our temperatures have come up about 10 degrees in Indianapolis from this time yesterday, about 15 degrees down in Bloomington from this time yesterday. So we are closer to our averages to start our day, and we're going to be closer to our averages to end our day as well. Our temperatures are going to climb into the low 70s, which is where we should be this time of year. And what's going on right now, you can see on our satellite and radar that things are very quiet. We have high pressure in control that's scooted off to the east, so that's continuing to impact us. And then we're under this southwesterly flow, which is just going to help bring in a little bit of wind today. So our wind gusts are starting right around 15 to 20 miles per hour this morning, and then we are going to see those peak as we head into the afternoon. We're going to see those gusts right around 20 to 25 miles per hour. So that's something you're going to notice as you step outside. Besides the winds, we are going to see fairly calm conditions, mostly sunny skies throughout the day, which is going to help warm us up quite a bit. Looking towards the end of the week, we are tracking Hurricane Delta, which did get upgraded to a hurricane yesterday. That's in the Caribbean right now, and that could have an impact on central Indiana as we head into the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. The current track has us having a little bit of those remnants making its way into southern Indiana. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that and let you know if we're expecting some rainfall from that system as it moves into the Gulf and past into the Midwest. Looking at today, though, temperatures starting in the 40s this morning, not as chilly as yesterday, still a little brisk to start. You might want that light jacket. And then as we head into the afternoon, those gusty winds will really take over right around 25 miles per hour, 73 degrees for the high with plenty of sunshine throughout your day. Clear skies overnight again, and that's going to be the trend for most of the week. So 73 today, a little bit windy out there. little bit warmer tomorrow, so we're going to continue to see this warming trend through the midweek. 79 for the high on Wednesday. I expect a lot of spots will hit that 80-degree mark, and then we're going to start dropping back down briefly this weekend, and then that small chance of a little bit more cloud coverage over the weekend from that Hurricane Delta that's going to move up, and we'll let you know if we are expecting any rain from that system as it moves into the Midwest.
Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is in the downtown area at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split as you're rounding the curve there, heading to Meridian Street. The good news, no crashes or delays on your interstates or around the metro area this morning. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on the roads and let you know if there are any trouble spots to avoid. It's 4:52. We'll be right back after this short break.
It's all about loving my neighbor.
Well, that is the message two Texas neighbors want to convey to the country as Election Day approaches and tensions between rival parties escalate. Now, Tasha Hancock and Marnie Litton have been neighbors and friends for 6 years now. Litton, a Republican, and Hancock, a Democrat, and they wanted to change the narrative. So this, as all the bickering on the national stage seeps down into communities that support them. Litton says that she saw a lot of people vandalizing signs in their neighborhood, so she decided to post photos of her and Tasha rocking their political party gear to their Cedar Park neighborhood Facebook page. Their goal is to show that love can still live between the two parties.
I may think one way about one subject, and that's why I vote a certain way, but that doesn't run my whole life. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person or my kids are not good people and we're not a good family, and vice versa.
I think also it's about to demonstrate to our kids, we're both mothers, and to demonstrate to our kids that you can have different opinions, you can look different, and still respect and love one another.
Well, even though they'll be checking different boxes on November 3rd, the duo says that they'll be riding to the polls together to make their voices heard. Gotta love that, Alyssa.
Yeah.
If we were all like that, everything would be a lot more calm right now.
It would be a lot more calm right now. That's a good point. Pretty calm in the weather department this week. The only thing we're going to notice today is it's going to be a little bit windy. Those wind gusts picking up this afternoon out of the southwest, right around 25 miles per hour. Besides that, plenty of sunshine today. 73 for the high, not as cold as it was yesterday. Then we're warming up even more tomorrow.